Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Beatrice Mercado. I am with Bennett Mercado Hospitality, and welcome to our Masterclass series. If you joined us a few minutes early, thank you for your patience while Maggie and I had some conversation about our technical stuff. Joining me today is Maggie Abdallah. Say hello, Maggie.
Hello, everyone.
And Maggie is based in Massachusetts and New England, so she's also part of our sales team, but for our Masterclass series, she is our executive producer. Maggie, before we get started, do you want to share some housekeeping items?
Yeah, just obviously we can't see you or we can't hear you, but we'd love to field any questions you have. So you feel free to put them in the chat or in the Q&A box, and I'll either stop Beatrice during the presentation or we can cover some things after the presentation. If you forget to put a question in there or something comes up later, feel free to send it to us. We can absolutely address anything offline once the webinar is over. We're going to try and keep this to about 30-45 minutes because we know your time is precious, and we all know that you have stuff to do. So we will send you the link for the recording though, so that you can view it on demand if you forgot something or want to review anything. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Maggie. So today our topic at hand is the Maldives. And Maggie, are you able to see my screen?
I can see your screen, yes.
Wonderful. So as Maggie mentioned, please ask questions along the way or towards the end. We'll gather your Q&A and I'll do my very best to answer them for you. So the Maldives, I know always on the bucket list for many travelers. And I know from myself, a destination I always wanted to visit. I had the great fortune of visiting the Maldives earlier this year. And that is because Bennett Mercado Hospitality has a collection of 10 properties, all by Crown Champa resorts. Many of you have been selling luxury travel. You're probably asking, I've never heard of Crown Champa. Who are they? Well, they may be new to you, but they've actually been in operation in the Maldives for 5 decades. And the reason I share that is this year, the Maldives celebrated their 50th anniversary of welcoming their first guest to the destination. And you know which company welcomed that first tourist? Crown Champa. So these are a hotel operator that has been operating properties in the Maldives as well as building in the Maldives. That's important for you to know. For a hotel company to build a property on a remote island to get water, electricity, staffing, it's not just something that not just anyone can do. So this company, Crown Champa, has been doing it for over 50 years. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about all 10 resorts. Today, I want to focus on the luxury properties and also just highlight some features of the remaining collection. But the luxury 5-star properties are Kudadoo, Hurawahli, and Kagi. And then I'm happy to answer any questions you have on the other 7 as well. So to get to the Maldives, just some basic logistics. How do you get there? So many flight options from all over the world. It definitely is a global destination. Most of our travelers will connect through Doha or Dubai. And then once you get to Doha or Dubai, it's about 4.5 hours flight directly into Male. For myself, I flew from Los Angeles on Qatar. I think voted best airline this year, had a beautiful layover in Doha and transferred over to Male in the Maldives. But because of our global reach, I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on about all the items from food and beverage that we get to the Maldives. So why the Maldives? I think probably the one vision I had in my head when I started thinking about this destination were these overwater villas. It really is that unique destination that nearly every resort has this accommodation available for your travelers. Any honeymoon or special anniversary guest couple always envisions, wow, I want to go to the Maldives and have my private villa right on the water. So you have a number of those options. Because of being a remote destination in the middle of the Indian Ocean, you do have some beautiful marine life to experience. So lots to do. Whether or not you're a diver, snorkeler, or just interested in learning, definitely getting your head in that water is one of the things that our guests definitely always do, or do nothing at all. Because of the remote location, you do have an opportunity to be at peace, some serenity, some privacy for either on your own or with your loved one. pretty much a year-round destination. When I was there in March, it was kind of just the beginning of the rainy season. So March and April, moving onward in the summer months is what they consider the rainy season. I didn't have really much rain when I was there, but you definitely want to check in on the weather when you're making your reservation. So Crown Champa, as I mentioned to you, 50 years in business. They are a Maldivian family, and something that's important to know. There are so many luxury brands that own and operate in the Maldives, but this company gives back to the local community. Their staff members, they send them to school, to university. They provide lots of opportunities and resources for hospitals, for schools, really giving back to the Maldives. Now, the Maldives, I think they have over 1,100 islands. 200 of them are inhabited. So if you've never been as an advisor, it's really important to have just a good sense of logistics. A lot of the experiences, you can go as close as a 45-minute boat ride to a seaplane that'll take you 45 minutes or longer. So check in with me or Maggie or my team or your preferred operator. We can definitely share with you logistics. Do I get there by boat? Do I get there by seaplane? So you always want to also ask your traveler. So this map here, you're having a view of the different resorts with Crown Champa. I'm going to focus today in this. If you look at this rectangular box, I'm going to focus today on the Lavayani Atoll, where we have a number of Crown Champa properties. We have 5 in total. And then I'm going to highlight Kagi here, which is an hour boat ride from Male. So Kagi by boat, Kudadoo and Hurawahli by seaplane. We mentioned a little bit about all the activities you can do. Really, the options are endless in the Maldives. Let me show you here our aerial view of Kudadoo. Kudadoo is the private island by Hurawahli, 45-minute seaplane north of Male. So once you arrive at Male, you'll come and be greeted. You'll be greeted by the Crown Champa representative. We'll take you to our lounge. We'll get you on that seaplane, and you really do land in the middle of the ocean. And then we'll transport you by a quick speedboat right into the resort. So Kudadoo just celebrated its 3rd anniversary. This is a Forbes 5-star resort, and I share that with you because there are not many Forbes 5-star designated properties, and Kudadoo is thrilled to be on the list. It is only 15 villas. So this is our top of the line, ultimate and luxury property. What you're looking at here on the top of the screen, you have those 15 villas in a little horseshoe shape. And then here in the front of the screen, you see these solar panels here. This is called the retreat. This is where our main restaurant, our spa, our guest reception, and our staff are here available for guests. But the solar panels on top make this resort 100% powered by the sun. So sustainability is definitely a key objective in the Maldives. At Kudadoo, 100% powered by solar, really staying focused with climate change affecting the destination, as well as, thinking about the future. I mentioned to you about our seaplane transfer. Now, one thing that you want to know about Kudadoo is their concept is anything, anytime, anywhere. So this product here is for your traveler who's a high roller, who doesn't want to have to think twice about what they're doing that day and how much it's going to cost, because everything is included. So you're staying in your accommodations, your dining experiences are all included, your excursions, your spa treatments, and your wellness experiences as well. I'll go into more detail about that in a minute. But what you're seeing here, we have 15 villas. The one in the beginning and the one in the end is a 2-bedroom. And then we have 13 1-bedroom villas here. If you did do a resort buyout, we do have about 8 guest rooms here in this first lower left building here for staff or for security, if your clients did want to inquire about a buyout of the resort. And so here are your villa accommodations. Super spacious, really expansive private pool area, your own outdoor deck, straight into the water. The designer here, he's a Japanese architect, really has been celebrated for the architectural style of Kudadoo, your pretty much open living area space, and using sustainable materials as well. Every guest that stays at Kudadoo, you have your own private butler. So if you've not already looked on your mobile device, all the Crown and Champa properties have their own dedicated app. And so when you book your traveler at Kudadoo, they can download the Kudadoo app and start reviewing the number of excursions, start looking at the different dining menus that might be available to them. And also will eventually, once they're about ready to arrive, they'll be able to communicate directly with their butler, or we can do that with you as well. And the reason I mention this is Kudadoo is such a high touch experience. So if your traveler has special dietary needs, has a special occasion that they want to do something special, dinner on the beach, or an idea that they wanted to put together to mark a special celebration, the butler will be happy to do that for you. I mentioned to you the retreat, which is the main area for dining, but you can really dine anywhere. So in your villa, private dinner on the beach. We also have our own sandbank, which I'll show you in a moment. And all the excursions are included. So if you want to go fishing, if you want to go snorkeling, see the dolphins, those excursions are all included with your guest experience. We have the largest Himalayan salt chamber in the Maldives. I think the only one actually still at the time. So guests staying at Kudadoo, you can get a wellness instruction in the morning of private yoga or meditation. Follow that up later on with a facial or a massage. While your other companion perhaps goes on a snorkeling or diving excursion and meet you back up later for your private villa dinner or your private dinner right on the beach. So the opportunities are endless at Kudadoo. Hurawahli is located 5 minutes across the way by speedboat, and the photo that you're looking at in the top left is our underwater restaurant called 5.8. Now, guests at Kudadoo have access to the wine cellar, all the restaurant and menu options at Kudadoo, but they can also access all the dining options at Hurawahli, with the exception of the underwater restaurant, which is a surcharge for guests. But if they were at Kudadoo, they wanted to see a little bit more lively interaction, they can take that speedboat and head over to Hurawahli, which is a little bit larger. Just some more images about Kudadoo. This is the resort pool area. Some guests say to me, Beatrice, it feels really private. Where is everyone? Even at a full occupancy resort, if every villa was booked, it might still feel very private for your guests. So make sure you know that your guests are coming to a small private island, only 15 villas. If they desire that setup and layout, Kudadoo is ideal for all ages. If they wanted some more activity, some more guest interaction, I would definitely recommend Hurawahli. So Hurawahli, located in the same atoll, Laviani, same 45-minute seaplane ride away. What you're looking at here and under this water, if you can kind of see that blurry area here, that is the 5.8 undersea restaurant, and then our arrival jetty at the resort. Now, Hurawahli is for adults only, ages 15 and older. As I mentioned, Kudadoo welcomes all ages. Most of our guests at Kudadoo are adults. But if you did have that high rolling executive or family that did have small children, they are welcome at Kudadoo, whereas Hurawahli, it is 15 and older. And this property also just celebrated its 3rd anniversary with Kudadoo. And what you're finding here is 90 villas. We have beachfront as well as over water. And probably the most notable photo that's displayed for Hurawahli is this underwater restaurant called 5.8. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Kudadoo is luxury all-inclusive. Here at Hurawahli, you do have a number of meal plan options, but for the American guest, I definitely always want to recommend the all-inclusive package. And this aerial view here, you're looking at these beachfront villas here, as well as the overwater villas here on the right. Both options are fantastic. It really depends on the traveler. First time guests to the Maldives, they definitely have always that desire to stay over water. But if they've been to the Maldives before, or if they've experienced an overwater villa elsewhere, the beachfront villas are just as incredible. And you can see how close you are right to the sand, right into the ocean. Some of our guests will also do a split combination, maybe a few days over water, switch over for a few days on the beach as well. But all the accommodations, beautifully appointed, all top of the line electronics, It really depends on the category that you're booking: sunrise, sunset view, beachfront. Reach out to myself, my team, or your preferred operator, and we can talk to you about all the different categories. The 5.8 underwater restaurant, there's only 3 of them in the Maldives. And remember earlier, I told you this is the Maldivian family that welcomed the first tourists 50 years ago. So if you've seen that underwater restaurant at the Conrad, this was also built by them. They no longer manage that property, but that was a restaurant that they put together as well. So 5.8, meaning 5.8 meters under the sea. We serve a 5-course lunch or a 7-course dinner. And the experience definitely does differ. As you can see here in kind of the middle of my frame, this is the lunchtime view. Beautiful, bright, vibrant view of the marine life. And on the lower right, you'll see the setting for dinner. Does anyone notice that the fish get larger? So at nighttime, you get a different type of marine life that comes by. And then the menu does become a 7-course meal. We compare that with beverages as well. We have a sommelier on property. Speaking of food, remember earlier I mentioned to you, because we get so many flights from all over the world, I mean, they have such a wealth of ingredients that come to the Maldives. Everything is delicious. Everything I enjoyed, from a vast, beautiful breakfast buffet with active chef station. Friday night every week is Maldivian night. So if your clients wanted to try this local Maldivian cuisine, that's Friday evening with local Maldivian entertainment. From elegant dining to 5.8 to really super casual burgers, fries. The options really are endless. And if you're staying at Kudadoo, I remember, if your clients have special dietary requests, just let your butler or your island host know ahead of time. Something with Hurawahli is their champagne pavilion. So the champagne pavilion located at the very end of where the overwater villas are. Every night we open some champagne and watch the sunset. Just some more images of the resort. And of course, a number of spa, fitness, and wellness options for your travelers. Now, diving is key. If you're a diver, your travelers are a diver. We do have a number of amazing dive excursions from Laviani Atoll. If they needed to be dive certified, we can also help them get that certification. This is Dream Island in the middle of the screen. This is accessible for guests staying at Kudadoo, as well as for guests staying at Hurawahli. And we'll do a beautiful picnic. It's exclusive use, just for the guest. It's not shared with anyone else. And we'll drop them off, leave them with a picnic basket of food and beverages, and pick them up later on. But that is your Instagram moment, or just really a special moment for you and your guest. Hurawahli is a little larger. As I mentioned, it's got 90 villas. But guests, you know, they want to be active. They may want to socialize with others. So we do have areas of play here. We have a tennis court. We also have paddle tennis here. And then always American soccer, European football. Maldivians love their football. And you'll be either playing with your guest, or you can also play some paddle tennis, football with our staff as well. The staff, because it's a small island, you know, they all reside on that island. So essentially, they really get to know your traveler. They get to become really part of that guest experience. Because Hurawahli is a little larger, we do have night entertainment, especially, as I mentioned, Maldivian night. So a little bit more lively ambiance here. 5.8 underwater restaurant. If you have that guest that's saying, I want to get married and I want to do something really unique. Yeah, we've done some fantastic weddings here. We've also had some amazing proposals. I've seen some videos of the divers with a sign on the window here that says, will you marry me, right when the individual wants to propose to their fiance, future fiance. So the opportunities are endless with 5.8. I mentioned earlier, Kudadoo is 100% powered by solar. And Hurawahli, we're getting there. We're 30% powered by solar. As I mentioned, you know, sustainability and the care for the environment is really at the forefront, especially in the Maldives. You won't find plastic bottles anywhere. Everything is glass bottles, bamboo straws. Because they're all private islands, you know, they're doing their very best to maintain energy and, you know, focus on sustainability. So that is Hurawahli. Maggie, I know I'm breezing through these, so if any question pops along that you need to ask me, please let me know. I'm just going to keep
Well,
moving along
A
here.
question did come up and I'm just going to address it. We are recording this, so we will share the recording with everybody. If you were late to the presentation or you lost audio, which I know someone did, don't worry, we will make sure to share the recording with everyone.
Thank you, Maggie. And so what you're looking at here is Kagi. Kagi just celebrated its one year anniversary. It is the same designer at Kudadoo. The reason I share it just celebrated its first anniversary is you can see the trees are still growing. And I don't know how long ago they took this photo, but I know that the foliage and the vegetation is definitely growing. It's only 50 villas, a 5-star property here. It's accessible by speedboat. So if you have that traveler, didn't want to get on that seaplane from Male, it's about a 60-minute speedboat from the airport. If they still wanted to do a seaplane, it's only 15 minutes as opposed to 45 to get to Lavayani Atoll. So you do have both options here. Now, this guest profile, because it is a spa and wellness focused resort, it's really that one guest who is looking for privacy and serenity because it's only 50 villas. But maybe they're mindful about their food. They're mindful about how they spend their day. They want to do yoga, meditation, have a wellness coach. That is the reason to book Kagi. Same designer as Kudadoo. So you have this beautiful Japanese style architecture with modern components, beachfront, as well as overwater villa options. When you're booking a guest to the Maldives, you want to ask them, are they strong swimmers? Depending on the location of the villas, and this is for all the Crown Champa resorts, the current does vary. So if you're a strong swimmer, certain villas are ideal for them. If they're not the best swimmer, maybe we would put them in a villa that's got the calmer ocean, as you can see here from the far end of the photo. Just a brand new luxury appointed finishings. And what I love about Kagi is the food and beverage focus here, really suits all sorts of guests. So if you're a vegan, vegetarian, you're on a keto diet, you're on a paleo diet, so many thoughtful menu items for them to enjoy. Of course, if they wanted to enjoy and dine and have lavish dining experiences, we do have that at Kagi as well, but they definitely cater to those individuals that have specific dietary requests. And here on the right photo is the spa, really the main attraction for Kagi. And when I visited Kagi earlier this year, there was a doctor, a wellness practitioner that was visiting from Bhutan. And she was staying there for 6 months. So Kagi, what you'll find at Kagi is they do have a schedule of visiting practitioners. We are waiting for the season to kick in mid-November. We will share you more details about the next wellness practitioner coming, but it really is about that wellness Zen spa type of experience. Sorry, I haven't shown you this photo to you before, but we do this at all of our resorts. If you did want to have that floating breakfast, it is available here in the Maldives. 50 villas at Kagi, again, still fairly small, fairly private. I had a beautiful snorkeling excursion here, and I think I even swam with that sea turtle. I saw sharks, friendly sharks, baby sharks you'll see all over the Maldives. And the marine life, whether you're a diver or a snorkeler, it's just very, very, very vibrant. And top of the line spa amenities at Kagi as well. If you have yoga groups, meditation groups, reach out to us. We do have a few programs that we put together, but if you have a client or if you put those together yourself, we could put together a 5 or 7 day experience at Kagi tailored to that wellness traveler. And diving, all throughout Crown Champa, you'll have a number of excursions for divers. All 3 resorts that I shared with you today definitely have excursions where we can take your guests to the main dive sites in the Maldives. Now, as I mentioned, Crown Champa has 10 resorts altogether. And what you will find, in addition to the 5 resorts that I shared with you just a few moments ago, there are options for families, options for those that have multi-generational guests that want to travel together. The one that comes to mind for me is Miru. So that is a 4-star property. Miru, great for children, great for teenagers, number of activities. If you have a guest that is just wants to go diving, doesn't matter about their accommodations, they just want to go and get their head in that water. Villa Mendu is the one I would suggest. You know why? You get out of your villa, you get a step on the beach, and the drop off is just 100 feet from the beach. You don't even have to get on a boat to go start your diving excursion. But for your luxury traveler, it's Kudadoo, Hurawahli, Kagi. If you do have a more price conscious guest, reach out to me and my team. I'll talk to you about the other 6 resorts. And then we have 1 city hotel in Male if your travelers do need to overnight. And we do have a property right in the city of Male. So Maggie, I know I was compressed. I tried to do my very best to keep this within 30 minutes. I hope that gave a good overview of the 3 luxury resorts.
Definitely. And I think you spoke to the scuba diving that is available and is available at each resort. It's just a little different. So I can, Crown Champa has a great advisor portal that I will also include in the link when I send follow-up with the recording so that you can look at specific things. But it is overwhelming. Wouldn't you say the destination as a whole is overwhelming? And then we have 10 in the collection of Crown Champa. So I think if you can walk away with any of this is reach out to our team. We can help you. We can help you narrow down, where your clients are coming from, what might be a good fit, and we'll be honest about it. With if they're traveling with kids, just the 2 of them, what they're looking to do while they're there. If they're not looking to do nothing, those are all important things. And with 10 in the collection, we'll find a great fit, and they can do island hopping as well.
Exactly. Yeah, Lori, I saw you see your question about scuba diving. Yeah, scuba diving is available at all the properties. So we'll send you some more details as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's and I would say Crown Champa is very flexible. There's a lot of options, even with their rates and what's included. Meal plans, and they really thought about a lot of different. And some of those resorts, people come back every single year. I think U.S. travelers think it's a once in a lifetime or bucket list destination, but you would say that you go back immediately.
Yes, I would go back in a heartbeat. There's just so much more to explore in the water, as well as just the different islands. And the next time I go, some of our properties do excursions for you to meet locals and to see their lifestyle in the Maldives. So there are a lot of things to do to really get you engaged with the people that reside there. A few things I want to share with my guests, since we just had a few more minutes left. Crown Champa, at least with the resorts that I visited, it's fairly casual. I went to the Maldives and I packed, I want to say 5 pairs of shoes, and I really just wore my sandals and my flip-flops. In some cases, some of our resorts are barefoot luxury, like Commando. Our GM doesn't even wear shoes. He just walks around barefoot. There's a number of properties where you don't need shoes. Shoe optional, I guess, is the way to say it. Things are quite expensive in the Maldives. So, your sunscreen, as ones that are reef safe, bring those with you. Your phone underwater case, bring that with you. You can get them there. It's going to be just at a certain higher price point. So something to put your phone in if you're going to take pictures underwater, I recommend. If you have your own snorkeling gear, they have that available for you, especially at the luxury properties, they're available to you. But if you're traveling around the Maldives and if for some reason the property doesn't have that included in your program, bring those with you. Otherwise, you pay that daily rate. That's if you're an avid snorkeler as well. But yeah, anything goes in the Maldives. There is no request that, they cannot fulfill. Just give them enough notice. And I think Crown Champa's app, whether you're on iOS or Android, check it out. Even if you're just a travel advisor, you haven't formalized the booking yet, you can see beautiful imagery, sample of excursions, access the dining menus. You know, part of the excitement about planning your trip to the Maldives is the anticipation, right, Maggie?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so the app really plays a big role in that.
Well,
Now, travel advisors, as what did I say to you? 1,100 islands, 200 of them are inhabited. If you've not been to the Maldives, please reach out to my team or myself. We'd love to welcome you to see these resorts. If you want to bring a loved one, bring your family. I would love to see an advisor bring their family and come experience Meru. I never really thought about trekking along children all the way to the Maldives, but it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Why wouldn't you want to bring your children and your teenagers? And some of these resorts that we have with Crown and Champa definitely fit a certain price range. Two more things to note. A few combinations we have, either Africa. So we do have an Africa DMC, Africa Rome. They're going to do a masterclass tomorrow, but they just combined an African safari for a honeymooner and then ending in the Maldives for that reflection of their time. We also are excited to share that we are working with Caesar's Palace in Dubai, another Forbes 5-star property, brand new in Dubai. So if you're stopping over in Dubai, you want to combine that with a property to the Maldives, please keep Caesar's Palace Dubai in mind. We're going to have a masterclass series on them soon. And that was it for me, Maggie.
I know if there's no other questions, and like I said, if you think of something later, feel free to reach out to myself and Beatrice. We will be getting probably the follow-up later today or tomorrow, depending on sometimes there's a little bit of a delay on the recording being available. And feel free to share the recording with any colleagues that may have missed it. We will, and that's the case for any of our master classes. If you happen to register for something and something comes up in your schedule, which it happens to all of us, don't fret. I will always send a recording of that master class, even if you missed it, just so you have the information, because we are very busy. So we appreciate your time as always. And thanks for joining us. And Beatrice, thank you for sharing these 3 great properties with the Crown and Champa collection.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good afternoon. Oh, last minute question. Maybe I can get. Oh,
thank you, Debbie.
They just said a great one. Thanks, Debbie. I'll take that. That's always a good way to end. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.